Because with cancer, it thrives in an acid environment. It also is a high glucose consumer. And cancer also hates oxygen. Cancer cannot get a hold on the body if the liver's working in optimum performance. And one liver herb that many people don't realise it is the lemon. Fantastic liver tonic. Also, the lemon is an internal alkalizer, so that will do a few things too. Dandelion is the liver herb. Your liver is a recoverable organ. It's the only organ in the body that has the ability to regrow or recover. Cancer hates it when you stop the sugar or stop all glucose. Cancer is not happy when you create an alkaline environment in the body. And cancer hates oxygen.
The average American consumes a whopping 38 gallons of sugary drinks per year. That's enough to fill a bathtub with soda. You see, as we try to find a cure for cancer, we're actually inviting it into our lives all the time. But Barbara O'Neill, a naturopathic and health promoter from Australia, who is already a famous face on the internet, says you can effectively resist cancer if you follow her remedies. So in this video, let's find out what tips and remedies she suggests that can help us get rid of the killer disease, cancer.
Cancer loves acid.
The risk of being diagnosed with cancer between ages 15 to 39 has gone up by 40%. One simple reason for this rise is our global consumption of over 2.25 billion cups of coffee daily. That's enough coffee to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Coffee tends to increase acidity in our bodies. But it's not just coffee. There are other things that also make our bodies more acidic. Barbara O'Neill explains how our body's acidity can create an environment that favors cancer cells. According to her, the food items that help the body become more alkaline might protect against cancer. That's why only those food items are good for us and help maintain a healthy pH balance.
And so when people come to us wanting help to conquer cancer, you see what we do? We suggest a diet that's highly alkalizing. We suggest ways to oxygenate the body. In fact, some health retreats have hyperbaric chambers. Have you heard of those? We have one, and it puts oxygen in under pressure. And we also greatly eliminate the glucose, the sugars going into the body.
If you notice properly, human blood is also slightly alkaline, ideally between pH 7.35 to 7.45, because that's the perfect range that helps the immune system function well and protects against diseases like cancer. A balanced pH supports enzymes, cells, controls inflammation, absorbs nutrients, and detoxifies the body. And only a proper diet can control that pH. This approach can boost the body's defenses, which helps prevent multiple diseases, including cancerous growth. For example, Barbara O'Neill recommends eating lemons. You might think lemons are acidic, and they are, but in the right place, the stomach.
The first alkaline food I'm putting up here is the humble lemon, and you might say, no, the lemon's acid. It is. And it's acid where it should be. There's only one part in the body that should be acid. You know where that is? Stomach. No, the lemon is acid where it should be. That's why you'll find that most of our salad dressings have lemon in them. But when it is broken down in the gut and the minerals are dispersed and absorbed into the blood and thus to the tissues, it has an alkaline effect. Because the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals, which is sodium and potassium, calcium, magnesium and iron. These are the alkaline minerals, and the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals. Don't you love the lemon? Every home should have a lemon tree.
If you look at the digestion procedure, you will see your stomach needs acid to break down proteins. But once lemons are digested, they release minerals like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron into your blood and tissues. Are these minerals acidic? No, those are alkaline in nature. So, lemons have an overall alkaline effect on your body. That's why they're good for you. This is the reason Barbara O'Neill says,
We don't use vinegar here. We use lemon. Lemon is far superior.
dark green leafy vegetables like kale, parsley, collard greens, spinach, and silver beet are great for us because they help keep our body more alkaline. It's a good idea to eat these every day if possible. Lima beans, lentils, soy, millet, amaranth, and kamut are notable for their alkaline-forming properties. Additionally, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds promote an alkaline environment, supporting cellular health with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. However, it doesn't mean all the veggies are great.
But there is a question mark with vegetables. I'm putting a question mark here because for some people these have an alkaline effect and sometimes an acid effect. There's the tomato and bell pepper, or in Australia we call that capsicum. Also eggplant, and some countries call this aubergine. And last is the potato. Now this is not the sweet potato. The sweet potato is actually not a potato. The sweet potato is a yam. I'm referring to the English potato or the Irish potato. This is the nightshade group of vegetables, and for some people they have an acid effect, and for some people they have an alkaline effect. Let me tell you what I have found with me. My mother died at 51, a cripple in a wheelchair with rheumatoid arthritis. I have strong inherited genes to that way. And my body says to me, a little tomato now and then. My body says to me, don't even touch the bell pepper. What happens if I touch it? Oh, it repeats on me all afternoon and my energy just goes. So I say, I'm hearing your body and I don't eat it. The eggplant, I have a little eggplant now and then, maybe twice a month. Potato, my husband's an Irishman. Potatoes must be in every main meal, so I have it probably most days.
But speaking of potatoes, a lot of people, mainly the young generation, consume potatoes mostly in the form of chips or French fries. And that's a huge problem. Let me give you an idea of how huge it is. If you laid all the potato chips produced in the US in a single year end to end, they would circle the globe 1.5 times. In addition to that, if you have inflammation in your body, vegetables like tomatoes from the nightshade family might make it worse. But if you enjoy these foods and they don't cause you any issues, it's okay to include them in your diet. Yes, that's the twist here. For example, when you cook tomatoes with olive oil, they release a substance called lycopene.
And I think you'll agree with me, olive oil and tomatoes go very nice. They almost hand in hand together. When you look at Lebanese food, Italian food, there's a lot of tomato and olive oil cooking. When it's cooked with an oil, it releases a plant chemical called lycopene. Lycopene is from the fat-soluble family, and that's another reason why we should be eating a little oil with our meals, because it helps release the fat-soluble vitamins.
Lycopene is a type of antioxidant that can help reduce inflammation, especially in the prostate gland. So it's actually a good idea for men over 40 to have a dish with cooked tomatoes and olive oil a few times a week. Including a little bit of oil with our meals is also beneficial because it helps our body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like lycopene better. Olive oil is a good choice because it pairs well with tomatoes and enhances their health benefits. Next, what else can create alkaline conditions in the body? Lima beans, lentils, and soy. However, not all legumes are alkaline in nature. It's because certain legumes, like lima beans and lentils, are rich in alkaline minerals, such as magnesium, calcium, and potassium, but other legumes are not. These minerals play a role in neutralizing acids in the body. On the other hand, legumes that contain more acidic minerals like phosphorus and sulfur, or higher protein levels, can be more acid-forming. Some legumes, such as lentils and chickpeas, are generally alkaline-forming due to their fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, which further support their alkalizing effect. Soybeans and peanuts, while nutritious, may lean slightly towards being acid-forming. Now, you must be inquisitive about what grain you should intake and what not to, because grains are an inseparable part of our diet. You see, millet and quinoa are alkaline grains and happen to be gluten-free, which makes them quite popular. Amaranth, though lesser known, was traditionally consumed by the Aztecs. It's a tiny grain that gets sticky when cooked, commonly used in porridge with millet, quinoa, or oats for a tasty mix. Spelt and kamut are old types of wheat, and rice and oats are also good choices. They all offer a balanced mix with some acidity, which is needed in moderation. Then, if we talk about nuts, as Barbara O'Neill says, almonds and Brazil nuts are alkaline forming, offering a variety of health benefits. Similarly, seeds like chia, flax, pumpkin, and hemp seeds are known for their alkaline effect due to their mineral content, particularly magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which help counteract acids in the body. But beware before you eat any type of fruit.
Now I've got a question mark with fruit too. Why have I got a question mark? If someone has a yeast presence in their body and they're eating a lot of fruit, the sugar in the fruit will feed the yeast. And as the yeast feeds on the sugars in the fruit, it gives off acetic acid. It gives off lactic acid. It gives off uric acid. So it basically is feathering its nest. So when a person has a yeast presence and they're eating a lot of fruit, can you see that they are feeding the problem? And they're creating the environment in 5.5 where yeast loves to live.
Fruits can pose a concern if you have a yeast issue in your body because their sugars can feed the yeast. When yeast feeds on fruit sugars, it produces acids like acetic, lactic, and uric acid, making conditions ideal for its growth. This creates an environment with a pH of 5.5, which is not good for our system, and in this environment, yeast thrives in. So, from now on, aim for a balance. Around 20% of your diet should include acid-forming foods like whole grains, legumes, and nuts, which are nutritious. The rest, about 70 to 80%, should be alkaline-forming foods. For example, cayenne pepper is extremely helpful in resisting cancer. Cayenne pepper is already a common ingredient in Ayurvedic and Eastern medicines. It's known for helping with digestion and blood circulation.
I find that my body's very happy with cayenne pepper, and yet that's from the capsicum of the bell pepper family. I think perhaps the medicinal properties of the cayenne pepper maybe far outweigh for me the reaction.
Firstly, it helps thin the blood, strengthen the heart, and make arteries stronger. It also boosts blood flow, making other herbs work better. It can soothe sore throats and improve digestion by increasing stomach acid.
Cayenne pepper can be used for an upset stomach. When it gets into the blood, it thins the blood, it opens the capillaries, it strengthens the arterial wall. About a quarter of a teaspoon in a little cup of water, or maybe a third of a cup of water just before the meal.
Notice one thing. The acid stays in the stomach, just to digest food items. It doesn't create an acidic environment in your body. But we haven't talked about the main compound in cayenne pepper yet. It is capsaicin. Capsaicin is responsible for its spicy taste and numerous health benefits. You have seen creams to ease muscle and joint pain? Capsaicin is their main ingredient also. According to Barbara O'Neill, the remarkable properties of cayenne pepper in promoting cardiovascular health include thinning the blood, strengthening heart muscles, maintaining arterial walls, and improving blood flow. If you think cayenne pepper is also a stimulant like caffeine or tobacco, Barbara O'Neill assures you that cayenne pepper is a safe circulatory stimulant that enhances healing by boosting circulation.
Cayenne pepper is a blood stimulant, and anything that stimulates blood stimulates healing. In fact, it has been said that you put cayenne pepper with any other herb and you will increase its effectiveness.
Moreover, you'd be surprised to know that it works as a natural alternative to aspirin for blood thinning. Plus, it does two more essential things: healing the stomach ulcers by increasing blood flow and stimulating the production of digestive fluids.
Cayenne pepper will heal a stomach ulcer. Cayenne pepper moves blood. It's one of the best circulatory stimulants there is. It's not a nervous system stimulant like your caffeines or your tobacco. It's a blood stimulant.
Research has shown that capsaicin, the compound that gives chili peppers their heat, has anti-cancer properties. Capsaicin targets tumors, slowing down their growth and spread. It can even cause cancer cells to die, particularly in prostate, pancreatic, and skin cancers. Normally, cells undergo a process called apoptosis, or programmed cell death, to prevent cancer. However, cancer cells often avoid this process by disrupting apoptotic pathways. On the contrary, capsaicin opens this pathway and triggers apoptosis in many cancer cells, such as pancreatic, colorectal, prostate, liver, esophageal, bladder, skin, leukemia, lung, and endothelial cells, while leaving normal cells unharmed. But how does capsaicin do that? Basically, it targets proteins in the mitochondrial death pathway, initiating apoptosis. It activates CD95, or the FA's receptor. This is the protein involved in triggering cell death. Plus, it suppresses the anti-apoptotic protein B-cell lymphoma 2 and activates cell death components. This leads to a loss of mitochondrial membrane potential and cytochrome C release. Finally, the cell death procedure starts as capsaicin damages the total cancer cell structures through specific channels and by activating proteins that help kill cancer cells. However, its effects on stomach cancer cells can vary depending on certain factors. In addition to that, capsaicin prevents the growth of new blood vessels that help in tumor growth and disrupts the signals that help cancer spread to other parts of the body. You may know the process by the name metastasis. This is the stage responsible for most cancer-related deaths. In the study, it is found that capsaicin has been effective in models like prostate cancer in mice and in stopping the movement of melanoma cells without being harmful. Recent studies have explored combining capsaicin with other natural compounds to enhance its anti-cancer effects. These combinations can be more effective and less toxic than using high doses of a single substance. For example, capsaicin combined with resveratrol, which is typically found in red grapes, triggers cancer cell death in a way that depends on a protein called p53. Or, in bladder cancer, capsaicin works together with pirarubicin, which is a chemotherapy drug. Together, they help activate a specific receptor in cells. Similarly, combining capsaicin with genistein, which is a compound in soybeans or other phytochemicals from vegetables, can enhance its effects against breast and colorectal cancers. Capsaicin has also shown promise in making traditional chemotherapy more effective against leukemia and in targeting cancer stem cells in breast cancer. But don't be too impressed already by capsaicin's cancer-resisting properties. There's something that I've not told you yet, which can change the whole narrative. Because while capsaicin can be great, its effects can vary. In some cases, especially at low doses, it might even promote cancer spread for certain types of cancer cells. Now, let's move forward from capsaicin. You can consume onion poultice. An onion poultice is a versatile and effective treatment that utilizes either cooked or raw onions for various healing purposes. To prepare a cooked onion poultice, steam or bake the onion to preserve its beneficial properties. Onions are rich in compounds like quercetin and organosulfur compounds. These substances have strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, which help neutralize harmful free radicals and reduce inflammation. Since inflammation and free radical damage are linked to the development and progression of cancer, using onion poultices may help you in cancer prevention. As onion can help you resist cancer, garlic also got some similar properties. First of all, garlic is a powerful natural antibiotic, being 6 times stronger than tetracycline. Tetracycline is also an antibiotic that stops bacteria from making proteins, helping to treat bacterial infections. So, it's beneficial to consume garlic as much as you can. You can grate garlic into hot soup to soften its flavor, or mix it with olive oil to make a tasty topping for baked potatoes. You see, garlic is rich in sulfur compounds like allicin, which have shown anti-cancer properties. These compounds can inhibit cancer cell growth, trigger cancer cell death or apoptosis, and prevent the formation of new blood vessels that tumors need to grow, or should I say, anti-angiogenesis. Next, you can consider potato poultice, which is also a great option for fighting cancer. Potatoes are gentle yet effective for treating certain conditions. Applying them to inflamed eyes or sprained ankles helps cool and neutralize acidity, thereby reducing inflammation. They are also useful for tissue inflammation, such as with ingrown toenails or splinter removal, promoting comfort and healing overnight. Although not widely studied for cancer prevention, as Barbara O'Neill says, the alkaline nature of potato poultices may help reduce localized inflammation and promote healing. Since chronic inflammation is linked to cancer development, reducing inflammation can potentially lower cancer risk. After that, ginger is another essential food item you can consume because it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. When applied as a poultice, it releases beneficial juices. A ginger poultice, roughly the size of a potato poultice, applied to the lower back can reduce joint inflammation within half an hour. The heat from the ginger relaxes muscles and alleviates pain, providing relief for lower back issues. Ginger contains bioactive compounds like gingerols and sugarols, which have strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds may help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress and inhibit the growth of cancer cells. These natural remedies, garlic, potato, and ginger poultices, offer simple yet effective ways to reduce inflammation, fight infections, and possibly lower the risk of cancer. Then, there is castor oil compress. As Barbara O'Neill says, castor oil is well known for its deep penetrating abilities, making it effective in breaking up lumps, bumps, and congestion. When applied as a compress, castor oil can help reduce tumors, cysts, and bone spurs over time with regular use. It is particularly beneficial for sore joints, knees, and wrists. Additionally, castor oil compresses can help manage conditions like fibroids or breast cancer when used consistently as well. According to Barbara O'Neill, castor oil compresses are adaptable treatments. During the winter, a larger compress can be used for a congested chest. Apply the compress warm, either naturally heated by the body or with the aid of a hot water bottle for added comfort. When placed on the abdomen, a castor oil compress can help relieve constipation by deeply penetrating and alleviating congestion. Finally, charcoal is another ingredient you should consider for cancer. In the book Back to Eden, Jethro Kloss talks about how charcoal can absorb up to 150 times its weight in toxins. Charcoal not only absorbs but also neutralizes poisons, making it useful for treating poisoning or diarrhea. Travelers often carry charcoal tablets, which are easy to find in Asia. Externally, charcoal helps with insect bites like bees, wasps, spiders, and snake bites. Mixed with water or ground flax, ideally psyllium, it can be used as a poultice for soothing sore eyes and stings. Activated charcoal is very absorbent and can bind to toxins and chemicals, preventing them from being absorbed into the body and helping to eliminate them. According to Barbara O'Neill, charcoal is an amazing option for detoxifying the body and also supports overall health, potentially lowering cancer risk. On the contrary, if you consume foods high in phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine, like meat, refined sugars, hybridized wheat products, and aged cheeses, that is like inviting cancer, simply because those form an acidic environment in our body. Caffeine-containing foods and drinks, along with energy drinks, alcohol, and tobacco, also create acidic conditions.
Alcohol breaks down in the body to acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is a neurotoxin. We don't want a neurotoxin. A neurotoxin is a brain killer.
It might sound totally ridiculous that the amount of energy drinks sold globally each year is enough to fuel a trip to Mars and back 20 times. It's a fact. This much consumption of these foods would naturally lead to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and an acidic body pH, which again means inviting cancer. So, would you invite it or resist it? How can you help yourself and your loved ones with their health goals? Let us know what you think in the comments. And remember to subscribe for more helpful advice. Let's work together to improve our health and well-being.